Hello everyone, my name is Vrinda Bhandarkar. I am a student of S.D.M Law College, and in this video we will be dealing with the concept of theft under Indian Penal Code. It has been comprehensively dealt with under section 378 to section 382 of IPC. It's referred to as larceny under English common law. Let's first understand what are the ingredients of theft. The first ingredient is dishonest intention. Under section 24 of Indian Penal Code, dishonest intention refers to either causing wrongful gain or wrongful loss. Under theft, we do not require both wrongful gain and wrongful loss to exist. The existence of either one of it is enough to constitute theft. Let's understand a case law to this effect. Under Med Khan versus State, where cattle was taken away by the accused from the complainant wrongfully, he was held to be liable under theft, the concept of theft, because even though it did not cause any wrongful gain to him, it caused wrongful loss to the complainant in this case. Dishonest intention constitutes the element of mens rea or mental intention in this offense. The second ingredient is that the subject matter of theft should be a movable property. Under section 22 of IPC, movable property is said to be a corporeal property which is apart from or except that of the property which is embedded to the earth or which is fastened to something that is embedded to the earth. Therefore, there cannot be theft of buildings or land because they are immovable property. However, there can be theft of jewels or document etc. because they are movable property. Now, the third element of theft is that the property should be taken away from the possession of another person. The another person in question here is one who is entitled to the interest or who has the title over that particular property. Let's take an example for this case. Under H.J. Ransom versus Trilokinath, where the bus was given for hire purchase system and it was in the possession of the person who had taken it under hire purchase. If the person who had given it for hire purchase takes that particular bus forcefully from the possession of the one who has taken it for hire purchase, in that case, the possession of that bus by the bus driver will be considered as its possession by the owner itself, and thus the offence of theft is held to be constituted. The fourth element of theft is that such that property should be taken from the possession of the person under question without the consent of such person. Now, this consent can be either express or implied. Say for example, A has a beautiful library filled with wonderful books. A tells to Z he can take away any of the books from his library. In such case, if Z takes away one of the books of A, it would not constitute theft. However, if Z with dishonest intention takes away a book from A's library without his express or implied consent, in that case it will be held to be a matter of theft. The last or the final ingredient of theft is that there should be moving in order to effect the taking of a property. Now, the question arises as to what is this moving and to what extent the moving must be there. Let's understand one illustration to this effect and then later move on to a case law in the same regard. The illustration to this effect is that A cuts down a tree in Z's compound and takes it away. While the tree is embedded to the earth, it is an immovable property. Once, however, it is cut down and taken away, it becomes a movable property, and as it is taken away with dishonest intention without the consent of the owner of the said tree, it constitutes the offence of theft. Let's understand a case law to this effect. According to Baisakhi's case, wherein the brief facts of the case are as follows, wherein the thief cut off the string of the necklace which was around the complainant's neck in order to take it away. Now, this cutting of this string was considered to be sufficient amount of moving required to constitute the offence of theft. Now that the different ingredients that are required in order to constitute the offence of theft have been considerably understood, let's move on to the position of theft under different personal laws. What happens if the wife takes away the property of her husband without his consent and with a dishonest intention. Under Hindu law, in such a case, the wife can be held liable. Similar is the position in case of Muslim law. However, in English common law, the wife and husband have unity of interests. Therefore, a wife cannot be held liable for theft when she takes away property from her own husband, even when it is with dishonest intention. However, if she delivers such property after stealing it from her husband to an adulterer, that is, if she is in an adulterous relationship with another person, and if she delivers her husband's property to the said adulterer, in that case the adulterer can be held liable, but the wife can still not be held liable for theft. Under section 379 of Indian Penal Code, theft is held to be punishable with imprisonment of 3 years or fine or both. Now let us deal with certain aggravated forms of theft. Aggravated forms of theft means theft of a much more serious nature than general acts of theft. Under section 380, theft committed in a building, house, tent or a vessel, that is a ship which is used for human habitation or for custody of goods, has been dealt with. If a person commits such a theft, that person can be made to undergo imprisonment of about 7 years and can also be made liable to pay fines. Under section 381 of IPC, theft by servant of the goods of his master or of employee of the goods of his employer has been specifically dealt with. A person who commits such theft can be made liable for undergoing an imprisonment of period not exceeding 7 years and can also be made liable for payment of fines. Under section 382 of IPC, theft which is committed with preparation to cause either death, hurt or restraint has been dealt with. In such case, the person who perpetrates such type of aggravated theft can be made to undergo an imprisonment period of 10 years, which will be a rigorous imprisonment, along with liability to pay fines. Thank you very much for watching this video. Happy learning.